told Pepe to go first. He told me you're going first, so. We just wanted to thank everyone who came here today. A lot of you came a long distance, and all of you mean a lot to Susie and Pierre. And I just wanted to say a few words. 7 pages here, I think. We just wanted to say a few things. My wife and I especially really appreciate everybody coming here today to witness and celebrate the marriage of Susie and Pierre. As father of the bride, I'm extremely pleased that our daughter is marrying a man with Pierre's qualities. He's an intelligent, educated, articulate, caring, and capable man. And he has a wonderful sense of humor. And during our first meeting, he showed a lot of good sense. He brought flowers to my wife, and he kissed my ring. Department chairman and relatively young, and we had older colleagues in our department, and we commiserated over the problems that are presented by that. When they first started dating, Pat and I had very little information about him, and I didn't even know his last name for a while. Quite a time, we just knew the first name, didn't know the last name. And finally we found out, and I probably figured that it was that Susie was afraid I'd launch an invasion of Venezuela after that. We did have a little bit of information on him, though, due to 3 CIA agents who are in this room. And they're right over there. That's the Cairo Intelligence Agency. John and Linda Juba and their daughter live across the street from us, and they were funneling information to us about what was going on. A little bit later, though, we realized that they're double agents. They're also filtering information downstate to her about us. What's going on? But we really appreciate them, and their daughter, Christina, grew up with Susie, and they were friends up there and friends down here, and have continued that friendship. Susie's brothers and sisters are here, of course, and they've shared a lot of experiences. I'm not going to embarrass them, though, to go into too much of that. But they have competed with each other, they've supported each other through many joyous times, crisis times, and they've learned from each other. But as I said, I won't go into any particulars about that, especially with Jeff there because of what he said. But over the years, Suzanne has a wonderful set of friends. Some of them are here today, some from Cara Durham, her over here, a couple of Cara Durham graduates, and some from Fairfield who traveled with her to China and other places. And we were just commiserating over the Chinese police bursting into their room. Susie knows about curfews and police and that type of thing. So do you remember Winter Clove? That incident? Okay. She'll fill you in on the details. Actually, another thing that we got reminded of on a prom date, coming back from prom date, they got stopped by the police, and Susie wound up taking pictures of the police officer who had stopped them. Usually have a podium here. Susie and Pierre share a common compassion and concern for helping other people through his work in Ecuador that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and Susie through her work, her volunteer work in Fairfield. They also share an adventurous spirit, joy of learning, and willingness to take on a challenge. Susie applied for a Fulbright fellowship and then flew off to South Korea to teach English in a nation whose culture and language that she was not familiar with. Then she flew off to California to start a teaching career. Now she's flying off to the Bronx. Oh, I mean, driving to the Bronx to start a new phase in her life. I wanted to point out a couple of people here also. The gentleman over here is my Uncle Nick. great joke teller. Now, he's retired now, but NBC has just hired him to fill in the 11:35 time slot. And I want to point out my mother, who's seated right next to him, Susie's grandmother. She flew off from Tampa. Actually, almost didn't make it. She's on the no-fly list. As you can see, she perfectly fits the profile of a terrorist. And in fact, we did try to stop her from getting on the plane in Tampa, but she started swearing at them in Italian, and they got frightened, and they let her get on the plane. Okay. I want to thank everybody who's contributed toward Susie and Pierre's wedding, Eve and your family, and especially a lot of work done by, a lot of work done by Pierre's brother, who did a great job, the electronics and all the details, and Susie's new sister-in-law. And especially, I want to thank my wife, Pat, who put in so much time and effort and shared her experience with the couple over these past many months. Thank this restaurant for the fine food and for this facility. And especially want to wish the best of luck to Susie and Pierre as they start their new life together. Thank you.
I had a speech prepared for this, but somebody broke my lines. I know losing a son, but I'm gaining a new daughter. You know, a couple of years ago, I had the fortune of assisting my son for his wedding. And what a joyous day that, you know, filled my family and I with a lot of memories. And this is the second time around, and all I can say now, I don't want to get too emotional, that Pierre and Susie are made for each other. They are what we told them, you know, to be. What we thought to be. And I think Richard and Pat, you did a great job too. Because these two guys, they look alike. and my feeling is that we did our jobs, and they are now in their own, and I know they're going to be a bright future ahead of them. So I wish them the best of luck, happiness, and a good life with his future family that one day they might have. And thanks to all my parents, you know, the families, my brothers and sisters, that they all encourage my kids to be what they are today.